Pioneer fans, Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse is live and on the air. We are live here at Hallway Field, where it is your Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse team taking on Brighton. Brighton is a little bit late. They're not here yet. So they should be here in hopefully about 5 minutes. I guess the bus just pulled in, and Brighton coming in now, but obviously the game start will be delayed just a little bit. Let's take a look at Pioneer and where they're at, as Pioneer is 10-4 on the season. As going back over the season, they had that game 6-point win over Novi to start off the season back on March 23rd. They fell in double overtime to Divine Child, and then fell in single overtime to Canton. Then they went on a win streak, beating Salem 16-5 and beating Skyline 11-8. They fell to Saline for the first time of the season. That was 9-7. Surprisingly, that was the same score that they lost to Saline by in both games. Then they had a nice 4-game win streak, beating Bedford 13-10, beating Skyline 8-5, beating Howell 10-8, and beating Ann Arbor Huron 13-1. Again, they fell to Skyline this time at Hallway Field. That was a 9-7 win by Saline, so it fell to Saline. Then Pioneer is on a 3-game win streak, beating Huron 17-3. They beat Bedford 20-11 and beat Dexter 20-7. That was back on the 11th. That was an away game. So Pioneer 10-4 on the season. They have 174 goals for. That's an average of 12.42 goals a game, and 103 goals against. So that's an average of 7.35 goals against per game, plus 23 goals on the season. Pioneer up, and plus 8.01 average a game. Now taking a look over at the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are 11-6 on the season, so similar records. Bulldogs a little played a few more games, but there's a couple teams that Pioneer played that the Bulldogs have outscored by a wider margin. They started off this season by playing St. Mary's and won that one 14-12. They lost to Detroit Catholic Central. That was 16-7, and they lost to Detroit Country Day 18-5. They beat Saline. That was a score 15-6. So they beat Saline by 9 goals. Pioneer losing to Saline by 2 goals twice. They beat Grand Blanc 20-11. They lost to Clarkston. That was 16-11, but then beat Rockford 12-8. They beat Canton. That's a team that had a 1-goal win over Pioneer. They beat Canton 17-4. Of course, that was a home game versus Pioneer being an away game versus Canton. They fell to Forest Hill Central 16-6. Then beat Cranbrook 16-15. They shut out Howell 18-0, a team that Pioneer beat, but not quite by that margin. They beat Holmes. They lost to Birmingham Holmes. That was a 12-10 loss. Then they had a 4-game win streak, beating Plymouth 11-7, beating Northville 21-7, beating Lake Orion 12-6, and beating Novi for senior night 16-2. They're coming off of a loss versus a very, very good Heartland team. That was a 18-8 win by Heartland. Now, let's take a look. Goals for this Brighton team. They have 228 goals for, so they have a couple more games than Pioneer. Pioneer with 174 goals for. They average 13.41 goals a game, which is about a goal more per game that they average than Pioneer. They have 164 goals against. Pioneer has 103, but again, that is Brighton has played a few more games. Brighton is plus 64 goal differential. Pioneer plus 73 in less games. So Pioneer has a bigger goal differential. Brighton has an average of 9.64 goals against a game. Pioneer 7.35. So Pioneer 2 goals better on the defensive side. Just over 2 goals better on the defensive side. It is a plus 3.8 goal differential on average for Brighton per game. Pioneer 5.8 goal differential. So again, just over a goal difference for Pioneer per game. What does that mean? Well, who knows? We'll have to wait to see how it plays out onto the field, but Pioneer on paper looking to have a stronger defense. Brighton looking to have a stronger offense, but we'll see how it all plays out. Coming up, Pioneer has one more regular season game. That is going to be the 16th over at Father Gabriel Richard. That will be a 5:30 p.m. game. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can get out of work in time for that to be able to do that. There's also, I believe, a ladies lacrosse game here at Hallway Field. So we're efforting to see if we can do 2 games on Monday and don't know quite yet. But even if we don't broadcast this, please get over to Father Gabriel Richard on the 16th. That is 5:30. And then we start to get into the playoffs. And since we have just a little bit of time, let me see if I can pull up some of that information on the MHSAA website. Let me pull over here and come in. And we'll pull up the MHSAA. And take a look as I was looking at both the Pioneer women and the Pioneer men's playoff schedule so far. Let's pull up the boys because I can't remember which one was which. Taking a look, I believe we were in. Let's pull up Region 1 and take a quick look at that. We were not in Region 1. I'm going to move over. Let's give me a moment. I'm going to play a couple messages from the MHSA. Then I'll look this up and we'll be right back as, again, Brighton getting off the bus and they got to change and come in. So we're going to be a little late with the game starting. We have 12 minutes up on the clock counting down. So we'll be right back. I'll talk a little bit more about the playoff picture. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are.
And of course, it was the next page I took a look at. So this would be Division 1, Region 2 is where Pioneer is at. It is officially hosted by Brighton, by the way. They are the tournament manager, if I can speak properly. There is a play-in game that Lansing Catholic, the number 8 seed in Division 1 Region 2, is playing Huron, the number 9 seed. And that's a play-in game that is going to be on Tuesday the 17th, so next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. The winner of that game plays Brighton. And that game is scheduled for the 19th at 6 p.m. That would be at Brighton. Also already scheduled is the number 2 team, Saline, hosting the number 7 team, Skyline. That is on Thursday the 19th at 6 p.m. There's two items in this side of the bracket. So Brighton playing the winner of Huron versus Lansing Catholic. And then on the other side of that piece is number 4 Holt hosting number 5 Pioneer. Now, they don't have a specific date on it. It has to happen sometime between May 19th and May 23rd. Like to think it'll probably happen more on like the 19th, but that would be Holt hosting that, and then the winner of Pioneer versus Holt would play presumably Brighton, who would be playing the winner of Lansing Catholic and Huron. As we said, on the bottom side, it's Saline hosting Skyline. The winner of that game plays the winner of the number 3 team in this region, which would be Grand Ledge, hosting the number 6 team Howell. Slaware of Saline Skyline plays the winner of Grand Ledge Howell. Those games, the regional semifinals, are already on the schedule here. They are Wednesday, the 25th of May. If Pioneer were to beat Holt, they would advance. They would play on the 25th of May at 5:30. That would be at Brighton. And then, again, the winner on the bottom side of the bracket would play that same day, Wednesday, May 25th at 7:30 at Brighton. If Pioneer were to win that, and asking a lot and looking way out into the future, but the regional final would be on May 31st. That would be a 6 p.m. game at Brighton. The winner of the top side of the bracket, which includes Brighton and Pioneer, will play the winner of the bottom side of the bracket, the number 2 seed being Saline, number 3 seed being Grand Ledge. So that's what's up. Not an easy road. Pioneer has to go on the road immediately to start off, and then if they win that, they get to play the tournament host at home, who's the number 1 seed. So, again, not an easy road for Pioneer, but that is what is up on tap. Pioneer will hope to get put together a couple nice wins, have a couple nice upsets of some teams in the playoffs. But we're already talking about that, and already right to the time of year where we have, after this, one regular season game left, and then it's playoff time. So it's amazing how quickly the spring season goes. We'll go and play a few more messages from the MHSAA as Brighton is now out on the field getting warmed up, and we will have the announcements, the national anthem, and the starting face-off shortly. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer men's lacrosse. That includes the platinum sponsors, Ron's Garage, Jermaine Honda of Ann Arbor, Gago Specialty Eye Institute, Franklin Templeton, Pollock Investments, and Gago Fertility Center. Gold sponsorship includes Stadium Hardware, Linda Forrester of Real Estate One, McNamara Orthodontics, Stadium and Liberty Clothing, Ann Arbor Maid, and Monahan Seafood Restaurant. Silver sponsors include Ann Arbor Lawn Care, Orange Theory, the Kyle Family, and Adam Eichner Realty. Thank you to all of the wonderful sponsors of Pioneer Men's Lacrosse. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As we are getting set to go between the Brighton Bulldogs and the Pioneers here at Hallway Field. Gorgeous day again. Second day in a row we've had over 70 degrees game time temperature, 82 degrees. Blue sky with just some wispy clouds out there. Absolutely gorgeous. Pretty full parking lot as they have a event going on the track behind us. So lots of folks gathered around the Pioneer campus. Always wonderful to see lots going on around here as both teams again continue to get ready and worked out there. Brighton throwing the ball around, same with Pioneer as the clock counting down. And we'll play just a little bit of music and we will come right back with your opening face-off. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse. both teams head out onto the field. Both starting lineups facing each other. For Pioneer out there is McQueen, Lucas Schaefer, Sarah, McDaniel. Ayers is out there, Rosenberg, Philip Schaefer, Shikachi, August Gago, as well as Denzen over there for Pioneer. On the other side, I'll see if I can get as many as I can. Looks like Sroof is going to be the goaltender. Also out there is Stevenson for Brighton, as well as Lee and Kato. Also over there, number 35, which I don't have. I have a 36, would be Hessen. Taking a look, number 5 would be Lawson. 16 for Brighton would be Stamper. Taking a look, number 4 for Brighton would be Farrell. Number 15 for Brighton would be Kammer. And number 22 for Brighton would be Koppel. Pioneer going from right to left here in this opening period. Denzen heads down to patrol the crease to our right. Pioneer wearing their home white jerseys with the gray numbers on the front and back. Pioneer in block lettering across the front. Brighton in black jerseys with the orange numbers on the front and on the back outlined in white. Brighton in block lettering. Ayers in to take the draw. On the other side is Lawson to take the face-off, excuse me. Ball set. Ayers trying to rake it up. Still loose on the ground. Ayers trying to get to it. That knocked down and goes over the restraining line. Popped up into the air and high. Grabbed and now heading is Stamper. That moved over, is thrown back right over midfield. Raked up. Coming down with it is Hessen. Hessen feeds it. Now coming over on the near wing is Kammer. Kammer heads back. Top of the attack zone on the near wing. Lost it, then gets it back. Stamper heading down the near side. Goes underneath the goal line extended. Stamper on the near wing. Now fires that on a hop. That goes outside the attack zone. That'll trying to stop it from going over midfield. A whistle. That is going to go over to Pioneer. So Pioneer with possession. 0-0 is our score. 11:16 left to go. As Armand Gago racing down on the far sideline. Armand Gago into the attack zone. Armand Gago now heading just above the goal line, extended on that far wing. Moves it back underneath. McQueen gets it over to Sarah. Sarah over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Sidestepping just outside the numbers. Lucas Schaefer now running towards the goal line extended. Goes underneath the goal line extended. Gets a screen from Sarah. Lucas Schaefer directly behind the goal. Now Lucas Schaefer coming over on the near wing. Fires it out in front, trying to get it to Heatley. That intercepted. Ground ball just outside of the attacking zone for Pioneer. Trying to rake it up. Lucas Schaefer comes away with it. Lucas Schaefer into the zone, coming down the far hash marks. Shot. That was a save. Coming back, raked up, back underneath, as that was Kato with it. Now coming ahead, that fired over on the near wing. Racing down is Lee for the Bulldogs. Lee out of his own zone, loses the ball. That goes over midfield, trying to avoid a offsides. That whistled, and that just made it out to the sideline. August Gago just shy of midfield for Pioneer with it. We are scoreless. 10-12 left to go here in the first. August Gago makes it over midfield, racing down the near sideline, and they're going to say he stepped out. Is going to grab it over on the near wing is Kammer. Kammer heads over the restraining line. Excuse me, that looks like 16. Stamper. Stamper into the attack zone. Stamper on the far hash marks. Then moved over all the way back top, as that was Kammer. Now into the midfield area. Nelson racing down on the near wing on the numbers. Rosenberg watching him. Nelson steps out into the midfield area. Moves it back over on a hop, trying to get the Kammer in the near corner. That's going to roll out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. 9:38 left to go here in this, the first. As Pioneer, August Gago fires it over to Denzen. Denzen racing down the far hash marks. Denzen over his own restraining line. Denzen trying to get over midfield. Denzen racing into the attack zone. Denzen comes in, fires it in front. Sayre with a shot that got deflected. Good save. Now coming over on the near wing. trying to run back as that is Nelson with it for the Bulldogs. Fires it ahead on a hop. That ball loose just over midfield. Now racing down with it. Here comes Churchill. Churchill moves it over to Sayre. Sayre between the hash marks. Ball wouldn't settle down. Trying to rake it up. That grab now. Heatley has it just in the midfield area. Heatley over the restraining line. That popped up high in the air. Trying to get it over on the far wing is Stevenson. Stevenson coming back. McQueen trying to steal it away from him. Now pulling over. That's Hodgnicki with it. Moved it back over to Scroof. Now coming in, here comes Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer with a shot and a goal. Racing in, fired it top right-hand corner. Pioneer with the lead. And at the 8:36 mark, Pioneer up 1-0 early on Brighton. Gear in to take the face-off for Pioneer on the other side. Remains Lawson for Brighton on the near wing is McDaniel. Joined by Danner on the far wing is Snook to follow. He has over there with him Hassan. Ball set for the face-off, trying to rake it up. Here comes Snook to follow, has it. Snook to follow over midfield. Now heads outside the hash marks on the far wing. He gets into the attack zone. Snook to follow. Over on that far wing, thought about passing it out. Now fires that. As back into the midfield area is Armand Gago. Back over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Fires it underneath to McQueen. McQueen over to Sayre. Sayre over to Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Just inside the numbers. That's sent back into the midfield area over to Heatley. Heatley getting some room to work. He's 7 yards outside the attack zone. Heatley over the line, coming into the attack zone. Heatley spins with it. Fires it over on the near wing to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Puts it underneath as Lucas Schaefer has it knocked away. Battle for it. Comes over on the far wing out of the attack zone. Trying to get it is Armand Gago. He rakes it up. Armand Gago heads into the attack zone. Armand Gago with a shot. A flag flew. Closest to it would be Pioneer, but a penalty. As looks like over there taking a knee is going to be, I think that's Hassan. Pioneer with it. As Sayre on the near wing moves it over. Lucas Schaefer towards the top of the attack zone. Moves it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago over. There's a shot by Heatley. Save. Trying to get it. Churchill. Churchill shot. That went off of a post all the way back. Heatley has it on the far wing. Heatley over to Armand Gago. Top of the attack zone between the hash marks. Gets that over on the far wing. McQueen with a shot. That pulled away. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Brighton. Down the far side is Cateau. That goes out. Here comes Pioneer with it. As Sayre lofts it over. Lucas Schaefer spins with it. Underhand shot and a score! Lucas Schaefer with his second score of the game. That at the 6:58 mark. Really good low sidearm shot at a low angle, and that skimmed the turf and went in just inside the far pole. Ayers in to take the face off versus Lawson, as they'll put them just underneath the blockades. Get McDaniel on the near wing, joined over there by Fracassi. That raked up. Here comes Ayers. Ayers gets into the attacking zone. Ayers over on the far wing, flips that down over to McQueen. McQueen sends it back underneath the goal line, extended to Sayre. Sayre over on the near wing. Sayre over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer on the numbers on the near wing, fires that back out into the midfield area to Rosenberg. Rosenberg about 5 yards outside the attack zone on that near wing now. Rosenberg calmly jogs over into the attack zone. There's a shot bounced up high in the air. Sayre closest to it. That will remain Pioneer ball. 6:27 left to go. Pioneer up by 2. McQueen has it heading towards the top of the attack zone. Over to Armand Gago in the midfield area. Ayers has it between the hash marks, trying to get it over to Lucas Schaefer. That off the tip of his cross, out of bounds, and that will go over to Brighton. Pioneer with the early 2-0 lead. As bringing it ahead was Lee. Lee feeds it. That launched. Now coming down over midfield, racing ahead. Here comes the Bulldogs. Spinning with it is Fracassi. Fracassi moves back into midfield area. Fracassi coming down the near hash marks. Fires it underneath behind. As that's spinning with his camera. Back. Now over there is Koppel. Koppel directly behind the goal. Now trying to come above the goal line. Extended shot that hit a post. As that comes all the way outside the attack zone on the near wing. Trying to rake it up is grabbing it is Fracassi. Fracassi moves it even with the goal on the near wing. Trying to get it back. That deflected as that will run out. Trying to keep it in. That popped up. Sanook to follow trying to get it. That will go out of bounds. That is going to be Brighton ball as Farrell has it on the far sideline. Farrell sends it out into the midfield area as that's over to Jessam. Now coming in with it over on the near wing is Fracassi. Fracassi flips that underneath the goal line extended. That moved over from Kammer. Now, top of the attack zone, spinning with it on the far wing is Jesme. Directly back behind, now coming out into right in front. Farrell had it. Nice job to leap in the way. Rosenberg stole it away over midfield. Rosenberg racing into the attack zone. Pioneer with the 2-0 lead. Rosenberg out in front to Sayre. That blocked. Good job by Schroff. Good scoring opportunity for Pioneer, but an even better save. That picked up. Heatley puts it in from an underhand shot from the hash marks about 10 yards out. Heatley scores. Pioneer 3-0 up at the 4:31 mark. Again, this is Brighton, the host of Division 1, Region 2. Pioneer playing in the playoffs. They could see this Brighton team in the second round. They'd have to beat Holt first. Right now, Pioneer, we're opening the game with a 3-goal run. Let's play a little push on. A message from the MHSAA. As Pioneer off to a hot start, 3-0, 4:31 left to go here in the first. On the defensive side, Denzen is playing the keeper for Pioneer. Philip Schaefer over there, as well as Shikachi, and August Gago back on the defensive side. And in to take the face-off for Brighton is Lawson. Stamper on the near wing. On the far wing is Hassan. Gear in to take the draw. McDaniel on the near wing for Pioneer. On the far wing is Churchill. Ball set at the top of the blockades for the face-off. Now trying to pull it away. Gear has it. Pioneer, excellent from the X so far today. Gear sending it back over on the far wing. That launched over. Here comes Lucas Schaefer in with a shot. That's saved. Now sent out. Here it comes. So Schroff with an excellent save. Brighton racing down as bringing it in as Stamper into the attack zone. That walled off over on the far wing as trying to get to it was Koppel. Ball on the ground, trying to rake it up, coming away with it as August Gago gets it over to Denson. Pioneer ball. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first. Pioneer with the 3-0 lead. August Gago launches it ahead. Now coming with it, Sanook to follow over midfield. Sanook to follow coming down on the near wing. That got over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer over to Armand Gago between the hash marks. That flipped over to Heatley just inside the attack zone on the far wing. Now McQueen sends it back underneath to Sayre. Sayre Moving it back over to Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer firing it. Spinning with it is Heatley. Heatley, top of the attack zone on the near wing. Heatley fires it over to Snook to follow right at the restraining line on the far wing. That's sent back over into the far corner. Now back over to Sayre. Sayre trying to come over to the far wing. Flips that back over to McQueen. McQueen thought about it. Over Armand Gago with the shot. That goes just wide. Closest to it will be Pioneer. 3:08 left to go here in the first. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. Brighton did come in late, so they had to hop off the bus and warm up quickly and go. Here comes Heatley. Heatley fires it up front. There's Armand Gaga with an underhand rising shot. That just goes above the crossbar. Closest to it was Pioneer. Sarah has it underneath the goal line extension. Now Lucas Schaefer goes underneath the goal line, going from the near side to the far side. Stopping Lucas Schaefer directly behind the goal and along the end line. Lucas Schaefer now getting above the goal. Underhanded shot. That got deflected back, and Brighton with it. Now that ball loose. Comes right outside of the attack zone, raked up by Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer into the attack zone. Lucas Schaefer now spinning, trying to get inside the hash marks. Lucas Schaefer with a bounce shot. That one just went wide to the near side. Closest to it, Pioneer running it out. Sayre has it in the near corner. Sayre just underneath the goal line extended, moves it back out. Armand Gago, top of the attack zone. That tipped out all the way into the far corner, as it was a good defensive play by Stevenson for Brighton. And pulled away, Pioneer with it. Now, ground ball, trying to pull it up. That popped up high in the air. Sinook to follow, trying to grab it. Still loose on the ground. Still battling. Now there's a whistle. I believe Lucas Schaefer has it. For Pioneer, just inside. Nope, that'll be Brighton firing it ahead. Now coming the other direction, that was Cateau. Brighton racing down on the near wing. Fired over, trying to keep it. That goes out of bounds, trying to get it over to Hassan. Now Sinook to follow on the near wing. Sinook to follow. Racing ahead between the hash marks. Sinook to follow over midfield. Sinook to follow into, takes a couple checks. That ball loose, heading towards midfield. That raked up over on the far wing by Cameron. Between the hash marks into the attack zone. Now spins out into the midfield area. That launched, racing ahead with it. Pulling is Howell. Over on the near wing. Now Cameron loses it. That raked up by August Gago. August Gago over to Denson. Pioneer with the 3-0 lead. 1 minute, 12 seconds left to go. Here in the first, that ahead to Shikachi. Shikachi running down the numbers. Shikachi into the attack zone. Flips it over on the far wing. Spinning with it. Shot by McQueen, who puts it in. McQueen between the hash marks. 10 yards out with a bounce shot to score. And at the 59-second mark, Pioneer 4-1 with the lead. Did they call off that goal? Looks like they called off the goal. And it's my fault is coming ahead with it. That ball over on the far wing. As no goal called by the officials. Now coming ahead with it for Fracassi. Fracassi into the offensive zone. Fracassi, that ball loose right at the restraining line, spinning with it. Picked up. Now coming in Nelson. Nelson moves it over on the near wing, trying to rake it up as Cameron. Heads back, top of the attack zone. 30 seconds left to go. Cameron flips that over to Fracassi. Fracassi just outside of the offensive zone now. Fracassi coming down between the hash marks. Shot! Denson with the save. 18 seconds left to go here in the first. Racing ahead. Here comes Rosenberg. 13 seconds left to go. Rosenberg into the offensive zone. Rosenberg, that ball pops up high in the air. Grabbed by Lucas Schaefer. Shot! Oh, that just goes over the crossbar. Closest to it is Pioneer. 3 seconds left to go. As that brought in, shot by Churchill just goes wide. And that will do it for the first quarter. After quarter number one, it is 3-0 Pioneer. As we approach the second, let's play a few messages. Well, actually, first, let's mention we want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Lacrosse. That includes platinum sponsors Ron's Garage, Germain Honda of Ann Arbor, Gago Specialty Eye Institute, Franklin Templeton, Pollock Investments, and Gago Fertility Center. Gold sponsors include Stadium Hardware, Linda Forrester of Real Estate One, McNamara Orthodontics, State and Liberty Clothing, Ann Arbor Made, and Monahan Seafood Restaurant. Silver sponsors includes Ann Arbor Lawn Care, Orange Theory, the Cow Family, and Adam Eichner Realty. Let's play, push on, and get you fired up for the second quarter. Pioneer has the 3-0 lead at the end of one.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
3-0 Pioneer with the lead. Churchill on the near wing, joined over there by Stamper. Ayers in to take the draw, as Lawson with him, and on the far wing, it is Howell over there with McDaniel. Ball set right underneath the blockades for the face-off. Now the officials check things over with each other. Now back in position for the face-off. The official gets it set between the crosses. Now backs out. There's the whistle as battling Ayers, raking it up, trying to get it on a hop. Ayers comes away with the Pioneer. With the ball, Ayers racing between the hash marks. Ayers steps over the restraining line into the offensive zone. That knocked away. Here comes the Bulldogs. That ball loose on the far wing, trying to get it Heatley. Still trying to rake it up. That ball won't settle down. Now coming back, getting it. Here comes Lawson. Lawson over midfield. Lawson moves over into the offensive zone. That fired out in front. Shot and a score, as that was number 4, Farrell, who put it in. Brighton answering back. So Brighton stopping a 3-goal run for Pioneer. That at the 11:22 mark. Pioneer looked like they had gone up 4-0, but a goal by McQueen waved off. Not sure why. Didn't see the signal that the official made. Now Brighton comes back and gets the first goal of the second. In to take the draw is Nelson for the Bulldogs. Gear for Pioneer. Over on the near wing is Hraboski, joined over there by Danner. Gathered up. Here comes Gear. Gear into the offensive zone. Gear coming down. Gear. That knocked away. That ball high up in the air as that will go over. Pioneer with it. Now here comes Sayre. Sayre makes his way over to McQueen. McQueen back over to Sayre. Sayre over the goal line. Extended bounce shot. That goes wide. Lucas Schaefer over. Runs that out. Closest to it. That will be Pioneer ball. Lucas Schaefer. Underneath the goal line. Extended on the far wing. Lucas Schaefer flips that back over to Sayre. Sayre has it directly behind the goal. Now Sayre moves it over to McQueen on the near wing. McQueen back just outside the offensive zone. Armand Gago with a shot and a score, as he had one step inside of the restraining line and put it in. Pioneer answers back. Now they have 4 goals on the shot by Armand Gago at the 10:38 mark. Pioneer up by 3, 4-1. not allowing Brighton to get a goal run put together. Rosenberg on the near wing, joined by Stampert on the far wing. Over there is Hessen. Now in to take the draw, or in to take the face-off. As Ayers trying to pull that away from Ayers, coming away with it as he wins that versus Nelson. Ayers goes into the offensive zone. Ayers coming down the far sideline over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer comes between the hash marks. Lucas Schaefer now steps back as he has about 10 yards to work with. Over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg into the offensive zone on the near wing. McQueen sends it back over to Sayre. Sayre directly back behind the goal. Sayre firing it over on the far wing. Now here comes Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer over between the hash marks. Heatley with the bounce shot. That hit about 2 yards in front and went in. Heatley with the goal. As Pioneer with the 2-goal run now. At the 10:01 mark, they have the 5-1 lead. Lawson in to take the face-off versus Gear. Snook to follow on the near wing. He's joined over there by Smith. On the far wing for Brighton, it's Grisdella. And ball, Gear trying to get to it. That roll back. Here comes Daniel. But a whistle before that. That is going to go over to Brighton coming on with it. As that raked up over on the near wing is Nelson. Nelson feeds it over on the far wing. That goes out of bounds, trying to get it over to Fracassi. Wouldn't settle down. Snook DeFallo has it. Coming down the far sideline, Snook DeFallo out of his own defensive zone. Ahead to McDaniel. McDaniel racing down on the near wing. McDaniel feeding it over. McQueen spinning with it. McQueen between the hash marks. McQueen with a bounce shot, and he puts it in. McQueen over on the near wing, just inside the hash marks, about 7 yards outside, fired and it bounced just over the goal line. Excellent job. Pioneer makes it 6-1. Rosenberg on the near wing, joined by Stamper. McDaniel on the far wing, over there with Hassan. Gear in to take the draw versus Lawson. Set for the face-off. Gear trying to pull that away. Now Gear has it over on the near wing. Gear goes over midfield. Gear racing down into the offensive zone. Gear between the hash marks. Gear lofts it over, trying to get to Sayre, and that one just out of his reach. That will go over to the Bulldogs. 9:21 left to go before halftime. Pioneer has the 6-1 lead. Bulldogs have it as they launch it over on the near wing. Racing ahead is Stevenson. Stevenson sends it. Now losing an edge is Hassan. Hassan with it on the ground, trying to rake it up. That ball won't settle down. Now grabbing it. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it. Lucas Schaefer over to McQueen. McQueen with a sidearm shot and a goal. And at the 9-minute mark, McQueen with 2 goals, just 36 seconds apart. That makes it 7-1 Pioneer. Snook to follow on the near wing. He's joined over there by Fracassi. Gear in to take the face-off versus Nelson. As McDaniel on the far wing, joined over there by Smith. Ball set, trying to rake it up is Gear. And pulled away, Gear spinning over midfield. Gear sending it. Here comes Snook to follow. Snook to follow into the offensive zone. Snook to follow with the bounce shot. As closest to it will be Brighton on the run out. 8:46 left to go before halftime. As that's sent over to Sruff. Sruff over on the near wing, coming ahead with it. That launched by Johnson. Now trying to pull it ahead is number 4, who I don't have on my roster. That ball loose. Coming back over, here comes McDaniel. McDaniel lofts it over on the near wing. Heatley has it on a hop. Heatley now lofts it all the way back into midfield area. That went off the tip of the cross. Coming back, battle for it. As that's going to be a flag over on the near wing. As that looks like a tripping call. As Rosenberg will have to take a knee. Pioneer. Well, Brighton will be man up now. 8:06 left to go before halftime. 7-1 Pioneer with the lead. The Bulldogs with the ball. It's coming ahead 28 again, who I do not have on my roster. And flipped ahead, launched all the way down by Blow. Sent back behind as that's Koppel. Koppel flips it over on the near wing to Farrell. Farrell back over to Koppel. Koppel directly behind the goal. Now Koppel gets it back. Koppel trying to get above the goal line, extended over. That's a sidearm shot by Jespe. That goes out. Closest to it is Farrell. So the Bulldogs have it in the near corner. Farrell sends it back, top of the attack zone, over to number 28. That launch back into the midfield area, sent back by Jesme. Jesme moved it back over to Koppel. Koppel underneath the goal line, extended. Koppel fires it over on the far wing, back over to Jesme in the midfield area. Now over to number 28 on the near wing. That flipped back over to Jesme. Jesme over on the far wing. That brought back as a shot that tipped by Denson. That goes out. As that was a shot by Kamer. Back behind. That will stay Brighton ball. As they ran it out. Koppel directly behind the goal. Koppel trying to come out in front. As Koppel walled off. 7 minutes left to go. Koppel fires it. Spinning with it. Dutton trying to keep him above. Getting above. There's a shot. That was by Kamer. Good save by Denson. And all the way in along the far sideline, trying to rake it up. Won't settle down as Epic Battle coming away with it. Here comes Dutton. Dutton, as that goes down, that should be a flag. That should be a push with possession. And I believe it will be. As going to run off, that is number 31, which would be for Kasi. So Pioneer man up. As right at midfield, Armand Gago with it. Waiting for the whistle. 6:35 left to go here before halftime. Pioneer up 7-1. Armand Gago comes over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Over to Lucas Schaefer. Back to Armand Gago. Armand Gago feeds it in front and over to Ayers. That ball just goes wide. Racing out with it is Heatley. Heatley runs it out. Pioneer with it. Heatley coming down the near wing. Heatley fires it over. Churchill over to Armand Gago. That pass over, and that is going to go out of bounds and over to Brighton. Doesn't matter who is closest to it on a pass. It's alternate possession. And launched over to Schruff. Schruff sending it over on the near wing. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Stevenson. Stevenson gets outside of his defensive zone. Stevenson gets over midfield. Stevenson racing ahead. Sends it over on the near wing. As Brighton into the offensive zone. Trying to make his way in front. Trying to get a number. That pulled back out. That was Koppel. Koppel fires it back into the midfield area. Over to Jesme. Jesme sends it over On the far wing, as over there with it is Stamper. Stamper just inside of midfield now. Substitutions coming on. Spinning back over is Howell. Howell racing outside the numbers on the far wing. Howell just moves it back behind. Philip Schaefer trying to cause problems with the ground ball. That pulled away. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Farrell. Farrell fires it, top of the attack zone. That rolls all the way towards midfield. Here comes Armand Gago. Armand Gago racing down the far sideline into the offensive zone. Armand Gago flips it out in front. That ball loose, ground ball raked up. Lucas Schaefer with an underhand shot closest to it. Pioneer. 4:59 left to go. Hately has it in the near corner for Pioneer. Pioneer up 7-1 here on Brighton. As Heatley stops just underneath the goal line extended. Heatley spinning with it. Now comes above the goal line extended. Working against Stevenson. That ball loose on the near wing. Trying to get to it is Churchill. That will go out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneer ball. Heatley on the near sideline. Heatley trying to cut in between the hash marks. Heatley with a shot at a score. Sidearm shot from 5 yards out. Heatley puts it in. That's his third goal. That is a hat trick for Heatley. 4:37 left to go. Here before halftime, 8-1. Rosenberg on the near wing, joined over there by Stamper. Ayers in to take the face-off. Ayers in there against, I believe that's Nelson. Trying to rake that ball. That was Lawson in there, but Ayers trying to get the ball. That flipped up, spinning around with it. Coming ahead is Hassan. Hassan over on the near wing into the offensive zone, trying to get between the hash marks. Now step back. That floated over out into the midfield area, racing down. That's number 10, Nelson. Nelson. And flipped back over, trying to spin and get in. Walled off was Kammer. Moves it back out. Fracassi with it. That ball just goes wide, closest to it. That is going to be Pioneer ball. Rosenberg has it. Rosenberg gets the whistle, racing down the far sideline. Rosenberg comes over the restraining line into the midfield area. Rosenberg cuts over the center stripe. Rosenberg racing down on the hash marks. Rosenberg, ball loose. That raked up, now coming the other direction, but a whistle as Rosenberg is down. We will step away as he lost an edge and he is in some pain. The trainers will take a look at him. We'll step away for a moment and play a few messages from the MHSA while Rosenberg gets attention.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Rosenberg making his way off. He is not putting any weight on his left leg, as that is not a good thing. We hope that Rosenberg heals up fast as Levi heading over off of the field. .342. The official has the ball just outside of the Pioneer offensive zone. As now Heatley to grab the ball over on the knee wing just outside the offensive zone. Heatley now over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Heatley flips that back over. There's a shot by Armand Gago that racks the net. Oh, that tilted back. Armand Gago firing it in from just inside of the offensive zone. That at the 3:34 mark. That is Armand Gago's second goal of the game, and that makes it 9-1 Pioneer. Sanook to follow over on the near wing, joined over here by number 17, who I do not have. As that ball over, trying to rake it up. Here comes Gear. Gear floats it over. Pioneer with possession. Lucas Schaefer outside the numbers on the far wing. Lucas Schaefer lofts it back directly behind as Friedman moves it over to Sayre. Sayre, even with the goal, now on the near wing, floats it. Now here comes Sanook to follow. Sanook to follow, lofts it back over to Ayers. Ayers moving it to an oncoming Dutton that on the ground, but Lucas Schaefer gets it. Lucas Schaefer back over to Dutton. Dutton between the hash marks. That moved over to Sanook to follow. Sanook to follow. Over to Sayre. Sayre just underneath the goal extended. Over to Friedman. Friedman over on the far wing. Here's Lucas Schaefer underneath the goal extended. Lucas Schaefer sidestepping now. Going from the far side to the near side. Underneath that goal extended. Lucas Schaefer. Now, right even with the goal on the near wing, Lucas Schaefer sends it. Sanook to follow, top of the offensive zone. Now they've moved back over, racing over. Here comes Dutton. Dutton cuts in. Dutton with an overhand shot that grabbed by Scruff. Scruff sends it ahead. The ball over on the far wing. Dutton racing to get it. As Dutton with it just inside of the far sideline. Right around the 40-yard line. Dutton heads down towards the restraining line. Or excuse me, now Lucas Schaefer has it. Sorry, Lucas Schaefer over outside of the offensive zone. Now here comes Sanook to follow down the near hash marks. That's a shot by Ayers. That goes just high. Friedman closest to it. 2 minutes left to go. Before halftime, Pioneer maintains possession as Friedman fires it over. Lucas Schaefer on the far wing. Lucas Schaefer lofts it between the hash marks over. Sanook to follow. That shot tipped closest to it. Friedman again. That will stay Pioneer ball. 1 minute 51 seconds left to go before halftime. 9-1. Pioneer with the lead. As coming in, Friedman gets it over to Sayre. Sayre directly behind the goal, going from the near side. Now cuts back to the near side. Sayre over the restraining line, or over the goal line extended, over to Dutton on the far wing. Dutton over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer now lofts that on a hop over to Sanook to follow. That over and out of bounds. That will go over to Brighton. 1 minute 30 seconds left to go. Bulldogs have it on the near wing as number 17 fires it ahead. 17 over the restraining line. Raked up into the offensive zone. Brighton has it. Now coming ahead with it over is Aiello with the shot that goes high. Raking it up is Farrell. Farrell going over the goal line extended on the near wing. Farrell walled off by August Gago. Heavy collision right at the goal line on the near wing. As Denson with it, firing ahead. That flashing out in front, trying to get that. Trying to pull it away, losing an edge. Trying to get a number there as that was Kammer with it. Now that launched over. Here comes Armand Gago. Armand Gago between the hash marks. Sidearm shot. Is that saved by Scroff. Now firing it ahead. Trying to move it over to Jesme. Jesme has it. That's stolen away. Here comes Pioneer as Armand Gago has that knocked away. Here comes Brighton the other direction as racing over midfield. Number 35 into the attack zone. That ball loose. 35 has it. Moved over on the far wing. Whistle. 23 seconds left to go. Timeout called. We'll take it with them. 23 seconds to go before halftime. 9-1 Pioneer with the lead.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
23 seconds left to go before halftime. 9-1 Pioneer with the lead. As the Bulldogs with the ball. As that ball over on the far wing, number 28 with it. As Brighton takes it underneath the goal line extended. That launch directly behind to Koppel. Koppel trying to make it over. Koppel with a shot. Denson had it. That over back behind as Denson knocked it up high. Now Denson racing down the far wing. Launches it ahead. Bounces trying to get it to midfield. Raked up. And that will do it as we're at halftime. At half, it is Pioneer 9 and Brighton 1. We'll step away, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we'll be right back with second half action.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse, as Miranda getting some work in goal out in front of us, as it is the platinum sponsors is Ron's Garage, Germain Honda of Ann Arbor, Gago Specialty Eye Institute, Franklin Templeton, Pollock Investments, and Gago Fertility Center. The gold sponsors include Stadium Hardware, Linda Forrester of Real Estate One, McNamara Orthodontics, State and Liberty Clothing, Ann Arbor Made, and Monahan Seafood Restaurant. Silver sponsors includes Ann Arbor Lawn Care, Orange Theory, the Cow Family, and Adam Eichner Realty. So, just to let everyone know, Brighton does have two varsity teams, Varsity A and Varsity B. Very similar. Pioneer had that going on a couple years ago where they had enough wonderful varsity players. They actually end up making two teams. This is the Varsity B team. So if we do make it past the first round and the second round, this is not the complete group we would see. Of course, we would end up seeing certainly maybe a few of these players, but obviously they would probably fold Varsity A and Varsity B together for the playoffs. So before we get too excited, Pioneer is handling business so far, 9-1. Pioneer with the lead. If Pioneer does get to a 12-goal differential, that's where the running clock comes into play in the second half. So keep your eyes out for that if that occurs. If Pioneer can keep up the pressure. Taking a look at the SEC, Saline has 16 points, leading everyone in the SEC Red, also leading all points in the entire SEC. I do not see any additional SEC games, so unless there's any that need to be made up, Pioneer doesn't have any SEC games left, so Saline wins the SEC Red. Pioneer right behind them with 12 points, 4 points behind. Bedford, 6 points behind Pioneer with 6 points. Skyline tied with Bedford with 6 points, and Huron with none. Over on the white division, Chelsea has 14 points. Dexter, 2 points behind them with 12. Pinckney has 6. Tecumseh has 6. And Lincoln with none. Taking a look at SEC scores from the last this past week, it was Saline beating Huron 25-0. It was Pioneer beating Bedford 20-11. Tecumseh beat Lincoln 18-5, and Chelsea beat Pinckney 12-2. Back on Wednesday the 11th, it was Chelsea beating Huron 17-0. Pioneer, we know, beat Dexter 20-7. It was Skyline beating Lincoln 19-1, and Bedford beating Pinckney 11-4. So some SEC scores there as we were about to hop back into action here as the clock counts down to double zeros, and then we'll get set for second half action. Pioneer 9-1 with the lead. Lucas Schaefer scored in the first at 8:36. Then Lucas Schaefer with another goal at 6:58 in the first. Then it was Heatley scoring at 4:31. And a goal called off by McQueen, so Pioneer had the 3-0 lead. Starting off scoring was Farrell for Brighton, that at 11:22, but then it was Armand Gago scoring for Pioneer at 10:38 of the second. Heatley scored again at 10:02. McQueen had 2 goals in a row, one at 9:36 and one at 9. Then Heatley made it a hat trick, scoring at 4:37, and then Armand Gago with his second goal of the game at 3:34. That's where we stand as Gear in to take the face-off. Just underneath the blockades, over there to take the face-off with him is Lawson. Over on the near wing is McDaniel, joined over here by Stamper over on the far wing. Armand Gago, and number 35 over there with him. Ball set, trying to rake that up, and Gear has it. Gear heading down towards our left. That ball loose right outside of the offensive zone, trying to get it that back over, raking it up. Here comes Armand Gago. Armand Gago lofts it over on the far wing, trying to make his way in his Sayre. Over, here comes Gear outside the hash marks on the far wing. That flipped on a hop. Right back underneath the goal extended over to Friedman. Friedman moves it over to Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer fires it top of the attack zone for Armand Gago between the hash marks with a shot that just goes wide to the far side. Friedman closest to it. That will be Pioneer ball. As the ball kind of goes down the far sideline, they'll have to, Churchill will have to move that out of play. As Sayre moves that Over on the far wing, bringing it ahead. Here comes Churchill. Churchill back over to Sayre. Sayre heads down towards the goal line, extended now, back underneath, over to Friedman. Friedman directly behind the goal. Friedman over to Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer outside the numbers, top of the attack zone, over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago racing inside the far hash mark, shot and a score! Armand Gago with the hat trick. That is Armand Gago's third goal as he fired it overhand from just inside the hash marks on the far wing, bounced and caught just inside the netting of the crossbar. Ayers in to take the face off versus Lawson right at the, it's just above where the two blockades come together on the near wing is Fracassi with McDaniel. Sanuk to follow on the far wing with that number 35, trying to rake it up. Ayers with it. Ayers coming ahead with it for Pioneer. Down the numbers. Ayers into the offensive zone. Ayers floats that underneath over. That is Friedman with it. Friedman fires it over to Sayre on the far wing. Sayre flips that over top of the attack zone. As that is Sanuk to follow. Here comes Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer steps over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Ayers sets a screen. Lucas Schaefer outside the numbers on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer backs up towards the sideline, comes even with the goal on the near wing. Now launches it back to Ayers just outside in that midfield area. Ayers into the offensive zone. Ayers between the hash marks. He's walled off. He steps back, moves it over, raked up by Sanuk to follow. Sanuk to follow. Now with a shot, and that makes it in as it bounced about 3 yards in front and caught just the upper left-hand corner. So the foul with the goal is, that makes it right at 10:09. It is 11-1, Pioneer with the lead. Gear in to take the face-off versus Lawson. Hraboski on the far wing with that number 35 on the near wing. McDaniel. He's with Stamper. Ball set for the face-off. There's the whistle as Gear rakes it up. Gear coming down the hash marks over midfield. Gear racing down into the offensive zone. Gear coming down the numbers. Gear launches it over to Friedman, and that just out of his reach, out of bounds. That will go over to Stevenson for Brighton. The Bulldogs with it. Stevenson in along the end line, moves that ahead. That ball raked up, coming down over midfield. Racing ahead with it is that number 35 into the offensive zone. As there's a screen racing ahead. Here comes Camera. Moving it over, and a shot as that was put in, trying to catch the number and make sure that was number 28. Yes, 28, which I don't have on my roster. Putra with the goal. So Shane Putra gets the second goal. Try and write that down really quickly as we're getting ready. Perfect. That ball gathering in, raking it up. Here comes Wolf, had it. Now that pulled away, coming the other direction. Stamper with it. Now back over, that raked up. Stamper heads off for a substitution. Now racing down on the far wing. Coming ahead with it's Jesme. Jesme has that knocked away, and Ayers grabs it right out of midair. Ayers over the restraining line into the midfield area. Ayers goes over the 50-yard line, racing down into the offensive zone. Ayers flips that over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer sidesteps down the near hash marks. Lucas Schaefer now with a sidearm bounce shot as that comes away. Good save over there by Schruff. Launched all the way to midfield. That ball loose. Trying to rake it up is Jesme. Jesme spins with it. Now that flipped over, coming ahead with it, gaining the zone is Fracassi. Fracassi. Just inside the offensive zone on the far wing. Fracassi steps back into midfield area. 8:14 left to go. 11-2 as that ball goes out of bounds on the near wing. 9-goal lead by Pioneer with 8:08 left to go as Churchill bringing it ahead. Churchill takes a slash coming over as he gets his cross knocked to the ground. Gear gets the ground ball. Gear heads into the offensive zone for Pioneer. Gear takes a heavy check, but the ball goes in. Pioneer goal. Lucas Schaefer getting the ball and firing it in. That is a hat trick for Lucas Schaefer now, as he got that goal at 7:52. That makes it back to a 10-goal lead by Pioneer. Lawson in to take the face-off versus Ayers for Pioneer. McDaniel for Pioneer on the near wing. Snook to follow on the far wing. As over on the far sideline, number 19 for Brighton down on the knees. So Pioneer in a man-up situation. As that ball raked back, McDaniel has it. McDaniel heading over midfield, a trio of Brighton players chasing him. McDaniel now launches it over on the near wing, over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer, top of the attack zone. Lucas Schaefer over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago with a sidearm shot. That had some velocity, as that got caught in the net to grab the field goals back behind. As now coming ahead. That fired back. Here comes Armand Gago again with a blast that goes in, as he did an overhand shot that skimmed the tip of the turf and fired in. Armand Gago, he has his hat trick now. That at 7:29. Pioneer now on a 2-goal run, 13-2, 11-goal differential for Pioneer at the 7:29 mark here in the third. Gear in to take the face-off. Nelson on the other side. McDaniel on the near wing, joined over here by Fracassi. It's like McQueen on the far wing. That ball raked up by Gear. Gear has it. Gear heading outside the far hash marks over midfield. Gear into the offensive zone on that far wing. Gear moves it over to Sayre. Sayre over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow over on the near wing, over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer starks that over to Snook to follow, who moves it over on the far wing, over to Gear. Gear over to Sayre. Sayre heads it back underneath over to Friedman. Friedman now over on the near wing. That to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer back top of the attack zone over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow coming down the near hash marks. Gets between the hash marks. Snook to follow. That ball trying to knock away. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Fracassi. Fracassi for the Bulldogs into the attack zone. Fracassi trying to make a swim move around Shikachi. That ball loose. Raked up. Here comes. Little turnabout is fair play. Here comes Pioneer as that ball coming ahead with it. Lucas Schaefer moving it over. Shot by Friedman and a score. Friedman puts it in. And at the 6:22 mark. So now it's a 12-goal differential. Ayers to take the face-off versus Lawson. Ball set, that roll back. McDaniel trying to get to it, uses body to protect it. That raked up by Ayers. Ayers coming down over midfield. Ayers racing down the numbers into the offensive zone. Ayers stops there, uses the official for a screen, and comes back into the midfield area. Ayers now between the hash marks right at the restraining line, comes back, flips that over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago moves it over on the far wing, is coming down. That launch directly behind to Freeman. Freeman over to Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer just over the goal line extended. Lucas Schaefer coming with the numbers. As Lucas Schaefer comes back into the midfield area. Lucas Schaefer between the hash marks puts on the Jets coming down the far hash marks. Lucas Schaefer with a shot that got blocked out in front. Picked up by Schroff. Schroff launches it over on the far wing now, coming ahead with it. Here comes the Bulldogs as they get over center, coming down with it. Jesme trying to make his way into the offensive zone. Now back, ball loose. Armand Gago rakes it up. Armand Gago with the beautiful swim move gets over midfield. Armand Gago racing ahead into the offensive zone. Fires it in front. Trying to get it to Sayre. There's a whistle. As two flags actually down. In taking a knee over there is number 6. So that would be Lee taking a knee. As I believe, slashing call, I believe, would be the cause. That was a cross right to the stomach. Pioneer has it starting in the near corner of the offensive zone, coming ahead with it. Here comes Friedman. Friedman just underneath the goal, extended over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer, top of the attack zone, over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago over to Heatley. Armand Gago gets it back, top of the attack zone. Back over to Heatley on the far wing. Now over to Sayre. Sayre back over to Armand Gago. Now on the near wing. There, coming in. Lucas Schaefer shot. That got deflected. Back out. Friedman closest to it. 3:51 left to go here in the third. Friedman coming in the end line with it. Friedman launches it over on the far wing. Now Sayre sends it back over Armand Gago. That one goes wide. Closest to it is Friedman. Pioneer ball. Friedman now flips that. Lucas Schaefer on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer over Armand Gago. Top of the attack zone. That over on the far wing to Heatley. Heatley over to Sayre. Sayre thought about it. Now shot it in. Sayre with the goal. As now the clock is continuing to run. Goal at 3:11. Pioneer up 15-2. Lawson to take the face-off versus Gear. Both Gear and Ayers have been absolutely fantastic at the X today. Porter on the near wing, joined over by Stamper on the far wing. Snook to follow. He's over there with number 17. Whistle blown, raking it up. Here comes Gear. Gear goes down the far sideline. Gear into the offensive zone. Gear splits a pair of Bulldogs. Gear sends it on a hop, trying to get to Friedman. That just off to his right. That'll go out of bounds. And we'll go over to the Bulldogs as they'll have it in their own end. That launched all the way over, loose on the far sideline. Out of bounds despite a diving effort by number 19. That will be Pioneer ball. Sayre has it, launches it, lofts it over to Friedman. Friedman grabs it on a hop. Friedman just underneath the goal line, extended on the near wing. Gets it over to Porter. Porter fires it back out into the midfield area. Over to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Has it over to Dutton. Dutton over to Sayre. Sayre outside the hash marks on the far wing. Shot and a score! Sayre puts another one in. That's 2 goals in a row for Sayre. That was right at the 1 minute 30-second mark. 16-2, Pioneer with the 14-point lead. Lawson in to take the face-off. On the other side is Gear. On the defensive side for Pioneer, you have August Gago, Philip Schaefer, and Shikachi. On the near wing is Porter. On the far wing is Hraboski. That raked up by Porter. Porter has it. Porter heads towards the center stripe. Porter over midfield. Porter launches it down. That ball loose, keeping it in bounds. Trying to get to it, trying to rake it up. Was Yang. Yang will have it. Yang on the near sideline. Yang. Now launches it all the way back. That over to Friedman. Friedman underneath the goal line, extended over to Sayre. Sayre cutting in, has that over on the far wing is Armand Gago. Armand Gago, top of the attack zone. Flips that over to Churchill. Churchill. Now over on the near wing to Yang. Yang lofts it all the way back behind to Friedman. Friedman. Over on the far wing to Sayre. Sayre heads back halfway to the restraining line. Armand Gago with a shot, and ooh, that went off of a player. That did not look fun as Smith took that shot, and that will do it for the third as Pioneer at the end of 3 has the 16-2 lead. Let's talk about those fantastic, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Lacrosse. That includes the Platinum sponsors, Ron's Garage, Germain Honda of Ann Arbor, Gago Specialty Eye Institute, Franklin Templeton, and Pollock Investments, as well as Gago Fertility Center. Gold sponsors include Stadium Hardware, Linda Forrester of Real Estate One, McNamara Orthodontics, State and Liberty Clothing, Ann Arbor Made, Monahan Seafood Restaurant. Silver sponsors include Ann Arbor Lawn Care, Orange Theory, the Cow Family, and Adam Eichner Realty. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA. We will be right back with your fourth quarter action.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Pioneer Puno is in net as he travels down to our left to get an opportunity between the pipes. Patrolling the crease as Schroff over to our right. Pioneer going from left to right here in this fourth. As in to take the face off, Lawson on one side. That's going to be Gear on the other. Churchill on the near wing, joined by Stamper on the far wing. That is going to be Putra over there. Joined over there by Beer. That launch back up. Beer chasing it, rakes it up. Pioneer with possession. Beer able to hold on, flipping that, trying to get to Gear. As that just slips out of bounds, that will go over to the Bulldogs. 11:47 left to go. Pioneer with the 16-2 lead. As with it, Jesme has it now, racing over the center line. Jesme into the offensive zone. Jesme coming down, working against Beard. Jesme underneath the goal line, extended. It's a screen from Farrell. Jesme trying to get above the goal line, extended. That launched all the way back. That over to 28. 28 moves it over on the far wing. That over to Fracassi. Fracassi. That all the way back underneath the Farrell. Farrell spinning with it, trying to go above. That shot comes all the way over. Racing to get it is Farrell, trying to keep it in bounds. As that is raked up. Coming Top of the attack zone. Excuse me, that was Aiello. Aiello flips it over on the far wing, coming in. Shot! As that was a shot by Fracassi. That goes out. Fracassi with one of the 2 goals by Brighton. Putra with the other. As coming back ahead, Farrell launches it all the way back. Top of the attack zone. And over to number 28. Shot and a goal. So Putra with the goal. Second goal of the game. Right around the 10-minute mark. Pioneer with the 13-point lead. Again, Gear versus Lawson for the face-off. As the ball set, Gear raking it up. Gear racing down into the offensive zone. Gear has that knocked away, trying to get to a ground ball, still trying to rake it up. Battle for it over there as Yang trying to pull it out as Kurowski also there. Gear comes away with it. Gear has it knocked away again. Pulled back as that was firing it ahead. Here comes the Bulldogs on a hop, racing ahead with it. Stampert gets into the offensive zone. Stampert with a shot that goes wide, closest to it. So didn't see which way the official pointed. I believe that should be Pioneer ball. 8:57 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer with the lead. August Gago moves that back over to Puno fires it ahead. Trying to get to it. That pulled in. Coming ahead with it. Number 17. Shot. Puno with the save. Puno back behind his own goal. Puno looking over to the near side. Looking for a place to go with it. Puno now running ahead with it. Puno racing to the restraining line. Fires that. That grabbed. Here comes Armand Gago racing ahead. Armand Gago over midfield. Armand Gago heads down into the offensive zone. Armand Gago moves it over to Sayre. Sayre on the near wing. Sayre over to Friedman. Friedman underneath the goal line extended. Friedman fires it over on the far wing. That to Yang. Yang sends it back into the midfield area over to Dutton. Dutton waits as Churchill comes on for Pioneer. Dutton now firing it over on the near wing to Sayre. Sayre heads towards the goal line extended. Back over to Friedman. Friedman in along the end line from the near side to the far side. Fires it on a hop. As that goes out, Yang trying to get to it and just out of his reach, coming ahead with it. Here comes the Bulldogs. Pioneer with the 16-3 lead. Now that ball goes out. Pioneer with it. Dutton has it on the far sideline right in front of his coach. Dutton racing down the far sideline. Dutton steps over the restraining line into the attack zone. Got it back from Yang. Now over to Hraboski. Hraboski between the hash marks. Hraboski moves it over on the near wing. That to Snook to follow. Snook to follow. Over to Sayre. Sayre moves it underneath to Friedman. Friedman in along the end line. Friedman launches it over to Yang. Yang on the far wing. Yang back over to Hraboski. Hraboski now over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Swim move. Hraboski trying to split a pair of Bulldogs. That ball comes out. Ground ball battle for it. There's a flag that flies. As it looks like a slash, as it looks like Hraboski is going over to take a knee. Pioneer will be man down as Brighton has the ball in the extra player. .6:15 and counting. Pioneer up 16-3. Starting off with it, coming ahead. Here comes Brighton, as that's Putra with it. Over on the far wing, got it over to Jesme. Now back underneath. Coming with it is Koppel. Koppel over to Farrell on the near wing. Farrell sends it back between the hash marks to Putri. Putri over on the far wing. Shot that goes off the goal, off the side, trying to fire it out in front. That launched. That went off of a defender. Now August Gago pops it up high in the air, battling underneath the goal line extended. That pulled away. Here comes August Gago. August Gago launches it ahead. Heavy collision as one of the Pioneer players went down. Now coming down with it, here comes Sarah. Sarah into the offensive zone. Sarah racing into the zone on the far wing. That's sent back underneath the Friedman. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here in the fourth. 16-3, Pioneer with the lead. As that ball loose, coming ahead with it. As that ball over on the far wing, Putri trying to get to it, still trying to pull that away. Wolf over there trying to get it for Pioneer. That launched all the way over. Out of bounds, that will be Pioneer ball. Pioneer with 16 points. They've actually had 20 in the last two games and 17 in the game before that. It's been a high-powered Pioneer offense. Here comes Sanook to follow between the hash marks, moving it over on the far wing, trying to get it to Wolf. Wolf trying to keep it in bounds. That slips out of bounds. That will go over to the Bulldogs. As Jesme with it over on the far sideline. Yang trying to watch that. That lofted all the way over, trying to get to number 19. That just over his head. Sayre has it for Pioneer now on the near sideline. We approach the 4-minute mark. Sayre goes underneath the goal line extended. Sayre stopping now, going from the near side to the far side and along that end line. Sayre stops directly behind the goal. Now launches it out on a hop. Yang racing to get it. Yang bowled off the ball, trying to pull that away. Here's Wolf. Wolf into the restraining line. Shot is that pulled away by Schroff. Now firing it ahead, coming with it is Howell. Howell into the offensive zone for the Bulldogs. 3:33 left to go. That moved over to Jesme. Jesme back over to Howell. Howell now launches it down over on that far wing. Back underneath the Farrell. Farrell directly behind the goal, trying to come above the goal line, extended on the near side. That shot went wide. Grab. There's another shot, as that one was by Nelson. That goes out. 3:08 left to go. There is a flag down in the Pioneer defensive zone as going over. Looks like that against Pioneer. As now Schaefer on the penalty. That pulled away. Now coming ahead. Here comes the Bulldogs. Bulldogs send it up on the top over to Aiello. Aiello and move back into the midfield area. Jesme coming down with a shot and a score. Goal by number 25 for Brighton. Jesme on the goal. As the clock counting to 11 left to go. If Brighton scores one more time, that will be under the 12-goal differential, and we'll go back to normal clock operation. Lawson to take the face-off versus Gear. Dofer on the near wing for Pioneer. Porter on the far wing. As trying to rake it up. Gear had it, knocked away. Battle for it, trying to rake it up. Still loose. Now, here comes Porter trying to get to it. Coming away with it. Here comes Gear. Gear with the swim move, racing down. Gear has it knocked away again. Trying to rake it up. That into the Pioneer offensive zone. Yang gets it back. Yang lofts it all the way back over to Dutton. Dutton underneath. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. That ball, Friedman over to Sayre on the near wing. Sayre sends it back over to Yang just outside of the midfield area. Yang now launches it back over to Sayre on the near wing. Sayre trying to spin between the hash marks. Sayre walled off. That ball loose. Now here comes Brighton the other direction. 53 seconds left to go. That ball on the ground. Yang trying to rake it up. Yang coming ahead with it. Yang coming in. Yang goes underneath the goal line extended. Yang and along the end line. 40 seconds left to go. Here in the fourth, Yang now launches it back over to Friedman. Friedman and along the end line. Friedman over on the near wing. That over to Sayre. Sayre over. And to Dofer. Dofer with a shot. That grab by Schroff. 23 seconds left to go. Coming ahead with it. That ball loose. Dutton trying to rake it up just shy of midfield. As there is a whistle, that is going to be Pioneer ball. 10 seconds left to go. Pioneer with a 16-4 lead. Coming ahead with it, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it. Pioneer wins the game versus Brighton B. 16-4. The next game for this Pioneer team will be on Monday at Father Gabriel Richard. That is a 5:30 game, so get out there, support the Pioneer players for their last regular season game before they go on, hopefully, a big playoff push. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you to everyone for cheering on these wonderful, amazing athletes, whichever team you root for. Thank you very, very much. Last time we'll see this Pioneer Varsity Lacrosse team at home here at Hallway Field. It has been a fun season, and like I said, hopefully we can see them make a good run in the playoffs. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and good night. Pioneer wins 16-4.